Eric Mitsubishi. My name is Nathan, and today I'm going to be doing a walk around video on this 2020 Pajero GLS. Now, it's not just your ordinary Pajero GLS, this is a warm white color. So it's got a slightly pearlescent finish. It's not as strong as that normal white color. It's a lot more softer on the eyes, and it has a beautiful metallic pearlescent shine to it. Now, what I'll do is run through pretty much most of the features on the car. This is pretty much a brand new vehicle, so I don't have to touch on the condition, but pretty much what you get in the car itself. So you've got that nice chrome front grille, big open grille as well. That's going to allow for a lot of airflow through to the motor, keep it nice and cool, especially when you're driving or doing long distance driving and towing. You want to make sure your engine and your transmission is running quite cool. Coming over to the side, just below that, that is your headlight washers. That's going to keep these big headlights nice and clean, especially if you're doing four-wheel driving or driving in the countryside, picking up a lot of dust. That's going to make sure you're nice and clean and you're not inhibiting your headlight output. Below that is your daytime running lamps and also your fog lamp fitment. Headlights are a very big, bold headlight. Now, one thing with the Pajeros, if you come around the side, you'll notice how much clearance is there in the front. When you're actually driving, you have great clearance or front end clearance, so you're able to kind of gauge how far in front you can park, and it is great for clearance as it just drops off pretty much right there. So great car to drive and very easy as well considering its size. Now, taking a look at the alloy wheels, these come with a multi-spoke design. Being the GLS model, they have this little slit in the middle of the rim, so it differentiates from your GLX series, but these are a great rim, slightly bigger as well. These are a 18-inch and you've got lots of tread remaining on those all-terrain tires, as the car has never been driven really outside of the dealership. Now, bottom of that is your side step. They do come fitted with factory side steps on both sides, and being the GLS model, they also get the chrome door handles and side mirrors. Again, gives it that slightly luxury effect and breaks it up from the actual car. It makes it look a little bit different. Now, if you notice the windows, the back windows are a little bit darker than the front. Now, what that is, it's just a light privacy glass. It's to stop people from peeking into the car, but it's not actually going to provide you with the same benefits as tint will. So I would highly recommend you talk to us about our tint options, considering the amount of glass that is on this vehicle. Now, opening up the driver's side, taking a look inside, the GLS comes with half leather, half cloth seats. So you do notice here, it does come with the leather on the sides and the cloth right down the middle of the seats itself. So very well laid out. Nice leather interior with a very fine stitching along the edging here as well. Now, below that is your your seat controls. So this is going to move forward and back like so. You can also move these up and down. That is to actually angle the seat how you would like to. This is going to be for the lean on the back, and this is for your lumbar support system, which is located just there. It's going to make sure it gives you good support for those long drives. Down here is a Mitsubishi scuff plate. It's going to protect the paintwork when you're jumping in and out of the car as well. Door cards, great condition, as the cars have not really been used. Now, opening up the rear or the back seats, having a look in the back, these also come with that same trim, half leather on the outside and cloth right down the middle of the seats here, leather on the outer side of the seats. Now, these seats will fold up, so there is a latch just behind the headrest there. Right there, you want to pull that, and that's going to pretty much drop the seat, and you can flip this all the way up like so, and that way you have a lot of boot space to use. So if you want to transport something in the back that can be quite large, this is a great car for it. So dropping this down, make sure you push this, as it is a lock, stop it from rolling back, so you don't have to like tie it down. If you notice in a lot of those older vehicles, you have to tie it down somewhere. And this little lever down here is actually for the lean on the backrest. So if you pull that up, you can actually adjust the kind of lean on the back of the seats. Now, coming across the vehicle, right here we have the fuel filler cap, which is on the driver's side of the car, which is very easy to access as soon as you get out of the vehicle. Coming across to the tailgate. Now, this has reverse parking sensors, so they are color matched to the vehicle all along the bottom there, and reverse camera mounted just under the lip of the Pajero logo, just on that spare wheel there, mounted on the back. Now, if you are planning on doing a bit of towing and driving, I do highly recommend you talk to us about our spare wheel lift kit, because you're going to want to make sure that this wheel is lifted slightly higher to allow you to mount the tow bar a lot easier onto the back. So talk to us about that. We'll explain that in more detail if you're required. This also comes with a roof spoiler and a high mounted brake light, as well as your rear wipers and washers to keep the car nice and clean. Opening it up. Now, you're probably wondering, where are the back seats? These are a 7-seater, but one thing beautiful about these Pajeros is the back seats actually fold under the boot. So it does utilize the space really well. Pulling it up is very easy, like so, and it's going to click in. Below that, you've got headrests, all your jacking tools, and a hydraulic to pump up the car in case you do get stuck in an emergency. Now, this lid will go over like so, and you can still store things under there if you wanted to, So got plenty of room for that, and the seats will come on top. Now, to lift up the seats, there is a lever on the left-hand side. Pull that up, and that is going to click it right back. So back seats up in pretty much 3 moves, very easy. This is your cargo blind, so this is just going to pull out and it'll keep your things nice and private. These you can actually just pull out from the clips on the corner there, so very easy to use. So now if you wanted to drop it, again, push that, push this, and they're pretty much flat, and you'll pull this little lever here and that'll unclip it and you can fold right back into the base of the boot. Closing this up, passenger side, like I said, I'm not going to touch on the condition because it is a great car, but you do know it does get the side step on this side. Would be kind of weird if it had a side step only on one side of the car. And you got the chrome door handles on the passengers and the rear doors, as well as that side mirror. So beautiful Pajero GLS in the stunning warm white color. So what we're going to do is pop the hood and take a look inside. Inside the engine bay of the Pajero now, these have a very well laid out engine bay. You've got your big airbox on the left to allow for that great induction into the turbo. Keep it nice and cool. Oil filler cap located at the very top there, and on the left here, that is where you'll have your wiper and washer fluid, or your storage tank, and this is your coolant surge tank as well. So this is where you top up your coolant. Make sure this has coolant in there, especially if you're going to be driving around, towing something. And on the side here is your fuse box and your battery with your positive terminal, negative terminal, and right here is your dipstick. So make sure you check all these things regularly to make sure that your car is running at its optimal capacity. Now what we have here is Mitsubishi's 4-cylinder 3.2 liter turbo diesel motor. Tremendous power output. It does have a 5-speed automatic gearbox, and it has a 5-star ANCAP rating, this car, with 6 airbags, so lots of safety for the passengers in the car. Now this motor produces 141 kilowatts with 441 newton meters of torque. So again, enough torque and power for that 3-ton towing capacity. This car is a diesel car with an 88 litre capacity fuel tank. It does have a combined fuel consumption of 9.1 litres per 100, or an average fuel distance of 967 kilometers off a full tank. But it's all dependent on how you drive and whether you're towing something around. Alright, taking a look inside the Pajero now, you've got a very well laid out vehicle. Everything is very easy to access, quite easy to read and understand pretty much what is here. So driver's side door, do get your full electric, fully automatic power windows on the driver's side. The rest are just your standard electric power windows. Above that is your central locking and also your window lock control. Now on the right hand side is your fog lamp controls and a little button to actually fold in your side mirror. So your side mirror controls are also located on the right hand side, so you can adjust it to how you prefer. Now on the right hand stock is your left and right indicator, your headlights, which are an automatic dusk sensing system. So just leave it in auto, car's going to sense when it needs to turn it on. On the very end of that little trigger is your headlight washers. Now on the left hand side has your wipers and headlight washers, and the left hand side are your wipers and washers for your windows. So both front and rear, also located here. And again, they're an automatic rain sensing system. So leave it in auto, car's going to do all the hard work for you. Taking a look at the steering wheel now, very, very comfortable steering wheel, beautifully presented, very soft leather to hold as well. On the right hand side are all your cruise control options, left hand side are your media controls with volume, mode, seek, and down the bottom is your call, reject, and voice control for your actual head unit. Now down here on the left hand side of the steering column is your stability control, parking sensors, and your automatic high beam system. So being the GLS model, you do get auto high beam in this model. So you turn your headlights on, you flick your high beam on, and you flick that button on there, and that'll engage that high beam, so it's going to sense when it needs to use it. Coming over to the middle, get this very nice display up the top here. That's going to give you a bit of driver information, so elevation, and you can turn it off as well if you wanted to. Fuel economy, range, speed, temperature. So a lot of information for the driver if you're someone that's pretty hardcore with your forward driving or love to go to some random locations. This is going to be good to kind of identify exactly where you're at. Now below that is your head unit. Now this is a fully functional touchscreen head unit, very nice to use, good display. It comes with your AM, FM radio, digital radio, Bluetooth connectivity, Bluetooth mobile connectivity as well. So pretty much everything, and apps. Now apps is for your Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So if you've got either an iPhone or an Android, which is probably 99% of the population, you're going to be able to utilize this feature. That'll have your maps, your Spotify, your WhatsApp, texting, calls, everything like that will run through your CarPlay system. Now below that, if you notice, there is a small little plaque which is for your Rockford acoustic sound system. So this being a GLS model, it comes with an updated sound system. It is a great system. Rockford made some absolutely beautiful instruments, meaning your speakers and your subwoofers. So these come factory fitted with that. Below that is your climate control, so temperature on this side, fan speed on this side. Now this has dual zone, so the driver and passenger have their own settings, and then at the back there is its own climate control, but we'll show that to you in a minute. There's a storage compartment here and also a card slot there. Below that is your rear diff lock button, so you can turn that on and off, and also your heating seat control. So you got both high temperature and low temperature, but they are both a heating setting. Next that is your 12-volt socket. Now it's not a cigarette lighter, don't encourage people to smoke in the cars, but there is a 12-volt socket for additional charging. Right here is your gear shifter. Now if I bring that into reverse, you'll see that reverse camera that I was talking about mounted at the very back of the spare wheel location. So it is at the very back of the car, so it is a great location so that you can pretty much identify how far back you can go. Now if I bring this down into drive and flick it to the left, that is going to engage sports shift. So that'll let you kind of control the gears manually yourself. So if you're maybe going up a hill, need a bit of extra power, you can use this to control the gears yourself, or just leave it in drive. The car's going to do all the work for you. This is the four-wheel drive Super Select system, which is what put Mitsubishi or the Pajero on the market. Now this is probably one of the best four-wheel drive selector systems on the market. You have your 2 high, 4 high center diff lock, and 4 low center diff lock. Now you can flick into any one of your high settings going up to 100 kilometers per hour, which is pretty phenomenal. Your low settings, obviously you want to be either in neutral or pulled over. So and pulled over, I should say. You don't want to be rolling in neutral, but those settings are there for you. Now you've got 2 cup holders, a little bit of a storage, and a nice leather stitched center console armrest. Now if I lift that up, that has a small storage shelf there. And if I take it to the deeper point, that has a bigger storage with a 12-volt socket for any extra charging or maybe any accessories that you will be fitting onto the car. Now, if I open the glove box, this is where you'll find your USB inputs and HDMI. So they're located just over here, the HDMI input as well for your phone charging or mobile connection. Now, as I mentioned before, here's your temperature for the rear. So you'll simply press that. That's going to turn on your rear aircon. So you got fan speed and your temperature settings there. So very easy to use, turn it on and off. Passengers at the back can control it themselves. So the camera person's just panning around just to show you the back seats. As I said, they have this pretty much the same trim as the front seats, half leather, half cloth, and they are a very well laid out vehicle. So now what we're going to do is jump outside and wrap up the video. So much for watching the walk around video of this 2020 MY20 Pajero GLS in this beautiful warm white color. Now, I hope the video gave you a good representation as to some of the features that you do get in the GLS model, as well as pretty much the condition. But like I said, it is pretty much a new car. Don't have to touch too much on the condition. But if you did have any additional questions, the number to dial is 99070555. Now, just before I go, this car does qualify for our Platinum 1 program. Now, what that will offer you is 5 years additional warranty, like-for-like new car warranty, and that's going to cover you up to 200,000 kilometers. Now, with that, you're also going to get the added benefit of 10 years Platinum roadside assistance. So again, if you plan on keeping this car for a while, I can guarantee you these are going to last a very long time, and I'm going to show you, you're going to be driving it a lot. You're going to want to take advantage of these. There's a great value in this service, so talk to us about this, because you might find value in it, and especially if you're going to keep this for a while. Now, in addition to that, one thing I would highly recommend is you take advantage of our glass coat and tinting option. Now that is going to give you a lifetime warranty on this beautiful warm white paintwork. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to clean and maintain, but also it's going to protect it from all the harsh environmental factors that affect it. Bird droppings, bat droppings, oxidization, fading, rusting, all these kinds of things that can really deter this paint and stop it looking this good. And let's be honest, if you're opting for the warm white, you know the value of this color, and that is why you're choosing it. So you want to make sure you protect it and keep it looking as it is when you pick it up. Now with that, we will also package in some tint, and that's going to give you a premium grade tint that's going to cover up the, all the way around the car. It's going to even it out, and it's going to look really great on the vehicle. And again, a lot of benefits in tint, so make sure you ask us about this. Now these two things are at an additional cost. However, if you're using our in-house finance, we'd love to introduce you to our business managers, Julie and Mario, who show just how minimal these will really affect your repayments. Now lastly, but most importantly, make sure you jump on a Google, search up Berwick Mitsubishi, and see what people have to say about us. With over 1,100 Google reviews and sitting at 4.8 stars, gives you the assurance as a buyer that you're dealing with the right people and the right kind of business for a good quality vehicle. Now, as I mentioned before, if you did have any additional questions, the number to dial is 99070555. My name is Nathan. Thank you so much for watching.